struggling with this consideration of tourism as just a kind of a makeup phenomenon. It's like a promotion, sponsorship, events, things like that. I mean, tourism is really an economic phenomenon, and for this reason, we have to create new competencies for a long-term development. And I finish just quoting one of a great writer of my country, and he said, loving its own job is one of the nearest things to the happiness on earth, but few people have the chance to feel it. I feel that tourism can give a lot of chance to discover an attitude and to discover a love for to work with happiness. And I hope that the young generation will do that, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Paolo, for keeping your time. The next speaker today will be Dr. Salim Hamdal. He is the Dean of Hospitality and Tourism Faculty at the University of Jordan, Aqaba branch. He will be talking about the perspectives of collaboration between tourism stakeholders and education, the case of Aqaba. You're welcome, Doctor. The floor is yours.
First of all, I would like to thank the USAID for really holding this conference and supporting this conference. And we started the dialogue about this conference a long time ago, and thank God it has materialized. Even if it has not materialized in Aqaba, it materialized in Amman, but it materialized. That's what we are concerned with. And the issue has been for long, because when we went to Aqaba, tried to create something in tourism, it is at the edge of the desert, and Aqaba is always forgotten. And the people there are always forgotten with the forgottenness of Aqaba. Okay, and we are trying to build some good vision for them. And Aqaba holds a lot of potential, and the people there are so talented. We discovered so many talented people there who really can compete with the best in the capital. And you would be surprised when they finish their education and come for the graduate degrees in Amman, Jordan. So we have been studying how we are going to work, especially with tourism. And as the conference title indicates, we have tourism industry and we have educational institutions, as simple as that. And we need collaboration. We need to build up a bridge. Now we look at the components and things that relate to all the situation of tourism industry in Aqaba and the educational institutions. I don't see there is an industry in the sense of industry, even in the whole Jordan, that could be compared to what we call industry in America or in England or in Ireland or in China. We are a very small country. And we discovered, like, a billionaire is building a big project. He owns another resort and parts of another resort. So it is a one-man show. You know, I don't know how we can describe this as an industry. And then, when we look at the educational institutions, you know, we started, Valka started before us, we created a good situation there in tourism and hotel management, applying pressure on the Balkan University to produce and do something good with high standards. So we started competing, and we are happy with the competition. But because of the limited industry that is there, and they want to train their students, and we want to train our students, we want to communicate, and the things are limited, so we have now, we were able to get another factor or break through another factor in the whole situation, which is the local community. Usually, when we look from Western business point of view, we look purely on things like industry, business, on one hand, academics on the other. Here we cannot do that. Here we have government, public institutions developed by the government, ministries. They have their own standards, they have their own ways of doing things, and we have the local community too. We have to consider the cultural values and the cultural things that relate to this kind of a community. And so it's more complex than we can describe industry collaborating with academia or academia collaborating with the industry. And we need really to study more factors, more what is involved in the tourism industry in Jordan. I would put the academia as part of the industry. And we got to harmonize things with the local community. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. We started a field of specialization called management of food and beverage management. The first year, we got 2 students. Everybody was apprehensive of the word beverage and of certain types of food. That's the local community influence. It's the values, the cultural values that kind of evolve. Then we really explained that our syllabus does not involve any violation of any cultural value. So the next year we got 11 students. Nowadays we have 60 students. The word of mouth is spread, and now we have 60 students. Now, we want to train these students in the best kitchens that are available. We have a cafeteria in a small, very, very small campus. We developed it into a training kitchen. And then we started getting in touch with the 5-star hotels, because they have the qualified chefs. I mean qualified, because you need qualified staff to train your students. You don't want somebody who did not finish high school, got some training somewhere to teach or to train bachelor degree holders. You see, so the only qualified staff that we could get was in the hotels. So we started approaching them in order to have an MOU, cooperation. The second type of cooperation, which my very dear friend, Dr. Yu, has described in his lecture. We don't want to stand still according to his first classification of the situation, like the academia on one side, like the cowboys, and the big business on the other side, and who draws the gun first. We don't want to do that. We want to look for job perspectives for our graduates. So we went to the big guys, the big guns, as it is sometimes described. can we have an MOU with you for training our students? Until now, we did not get an answer. Even, you know, our work, let me say, is very close with one of the hotels, and they keep coming and going like the waves of the Red Sea. They reach the shore, they don't touch us, and then they withdraw. I got a call after really a very good cooking in a kitchen of MOUs and discussions of understandings with one of the five-star hotels. I got a phone call from the HR saying, let's postpone this. And we are in the 4th year now. Let's postpone signing an MOU. I believe, you know, let me give another example. I send a word to the ASISA, which is the authority that is assigned the task of developing Aqaba, you know, spreading the word. And by the way, ASISA does not have a tourism commissioner, you know, to take care of developing tourism in Aqaba. Okay? Now, I said the word that I went to a cruise ship coming from Denmark and went and talked to the captain on the 14th floor. Now, they knew, you know, there have been changes in the chief commissioners. The very late commissioner went into the cruise ship, another cruise ship who anchored in Aqaba. Usually they anchor 24 hours, and the jet buses take them just one day to Petra and back, and they don't even know anything about Aqaba or the touristic potential of Aqaba. Now, I was happy that the chief commissioner went and talked with the captain and the people and started emailing and trying to do some kind of what we call cruise tourism. And cruise ships usually have a minimum of 3,000 tourists. So this is good business. 2 days ago, I was going downtown Aqaba. I saw 2 cruise ships, but not anchoring in Aqaba. They were anchoring in Taba, on the other side of the Red Sea. I don't know what's going on. Even, you know, this is a very good conference. We are appreciative of this conference. And we need conferences in the West, as far as I know, they come up with conclusions and there are results, and they got activated. But I don't know, we will come out with conclusions and recommendations, but are we going to activate them, and how? There is another question. I would like to pledge to the tourism industry, big business. What do you want? Give me clear definition, clear details. What do you want from our graduates? And we'll prepare them for you. We don't have this. We don't get that. We will cooperate. We will even do the research that will make you richer. Aren't you interested in getting richer? And the country really profiting from tourism? 14% in the world, you know, 14% of the national income comes from tourism in our country. And, you know, we need to develop that. We are at the edge of the desert. We don't have oil, we don't have all these kind of things that make people rich and build high rises. Okay. All what we have is the new generation, the people, the students. You know, here, you know, I don't want to keep repeating the great statement of the late King Hussein. The human being is the most precious thing we have. We need to develop it. And it is good even for the people who are rich. I don't want to go into further details. I was preparing something about the potential of tourism in Aqaba to invite investment, really, in the great potentials, so many potentials, and they are not researched, and nobody is paying attention to them, and nobody is trying to think and develop them. I am not angry, and I am not critical. I say, please, tourism industry, big guys, define what ammunition do you want from us, and we will be ready to provide it for you, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Salim. I think we all have this problem of bridging between industry and academia. We also have it in the different fields, and we are trying to bridge this gap. It will take some time, probably with your faculty, as it's a new faculty in the University of Jordan. We would like to hear some comments from other universities who had some longer probably experience in bridging such a gap and finding opportunities for at least training our students and of course find jobs for the graduates of such departments. We will have around 10 minutes for discussion. Please when you raise your hand, give us your name and institute that you are represented, and if possible, making very short because we have a very limited time for the discussion. And I promise you that you will have lunch after that. So, yes, motivation again. All right. Any comments, any questions? Yes, you are hungry. We had 3 very interesting lectures today, and we have experts among us. Probably you can either give us some comments or if you have some inquiries. Our students, where are you? The students. You can ask in Arabic, by the way. إذا في عندكم أي أسئلة طلابنا ممكن انكم تسالوها بالعربي ونحن بنترجم، ما في مشكله. Yeah, please, تفضل.
My name is Samar Gharaibi. I'm really happy to meet you at this significant occasion and happy to be here from University of Jordan, Aqaba branch. I want to be a good chef. So I was told that we must begin from the lowest position. Hence, yesterday I went to a fine hotel and for applying to a job in F&B section. I was told that the hotel doesn't admire me as a woman and cover my hair. Veil woman. I mean veil woman. I don't know. Please, could you help me or tell me what the reason that the hotel doesn't admire me as I cover my hair? And in spite of the HACCP system requires we must cover our hair. I don't know, and I'm studying now 4 years F&B management. I want to be a good chef. Thank you.
Okay, every nation has its national way of wearing things, and especially clothes. and I believe any tourism industry would like to have highly respectful representation of women. Because respect is the key for the success of any institution. So don't worry about that. In the way that we persuaded so many tourism places in Aqaba with so many things, we can really persuade them to be proud of our national way of wearing dress for our women. Thank you.
I don't like to comment on this myself, but I want to tell you what was my dear student, that you have to fight, and eventually you will reach. It will take you some time. It's what the Queen said once, that it's not what on your head, it's what is in your head. So please continue fighting. Probably you started with something that is difficult in tourism, but eventually you will reach. Any other question? عقبة برانش، تفضلوا. Alright, thank you very much. Well, تفضل.
بس السؤال هو بالعربي يعني سوري. في تريننج، لا احنا دائما بنحكي.
معلش اسمح لي، هل هو موجه لشخص معين ولا عام؟
لا بشكل عام.
اوكي.
بشكل عام. هسه التريننج احنا عمالنا
اسمك ما عرفنا اسمك؟
عبد الرحيم الهرش، FMP مانجمنت University of Jordan برانش عقبة. اوكي. هسه التريننج دائما احنا بنحكي للطلاب، وقبل ما يكون للطلاب انا من رايي انه يكون تريننج للستاف، للدكاتره اولا. انا ما بشك ابدا باي قدره اي دكتور عمال بدرسنا من ناحيه علميه، ولكن من ناحيه تقنيه انا بحكي انهم يتزودوا ويواكبوا التطور اللي عمال بيحدث في العالم من خلال الجامعات الموجوده حاليا، واللي قبل شوي البرزنتر عرفونا عليها. فعاد يا ريت يعني يكون في شيء من هذا القبيل.
شكرا للسؤال. طلاب العقبة غلبويين. أول شيء بالنسبة للطعام والشراب، في عندك من أفضل المدربين اللي له خبرة عملية في تدريب الطعام والشراب، وكلكم تعرفوه، الأستاذ يعني الخبرات اللي عنده، وبعدين قاعد بيطور لكم في اختراعات جديدة في أنواع المشروب اللي سويتوها ذاك اليوم في المطبخ، فبالتالي هاي ما عمره حدا داقها غير انتو واللي في العقبة، وبالفعل تستحق الاندستري انها تستثمر في اختراعات المشروبات، الكوكتيلات الغير كحولية اللي قاعد بيطورها الأستاذ رامي محمود، ومنشوف بلكي حدا يعني حب انه يستثمر في الموضوع. يعني الشيء الثاني انه كل الستاف يكون متدرب في الفنادق. نعم معك، لازم يكون عند الستاف على الاقل خبره عمليه في مجال الماده اللي بدرسها. اوكي، بس بدي سؤال واحد. احنا قاعدين بنحاول نقنع اعضاء هيئه التدريس من كل انحاء الاردن والشرق الاوسط يجوا على العقبه. بدنا نخلص من عقده العقبه منفى، وراح تلاقوا العقبه جميله جدا والعمل فيها رائع. فالكل بده عمان، الكل بده القاهره، الكل بده تونس العاصمه. ما حدا بده يروح على منطقه، خليني اجي اقول كرود ماتيريال اند ديفلوب. الغرب اخذ الكرود اويل وسوى منه بنزين، حتى بنزين طيارات. طب احنا في عندنا كثير مواد خام موجوده هون ما عملنا نستثمرها. اعطيكم مثل اخر. اوكي، طلبت منا أسيزة ان ندرب 15 طالب ادلاء سياحيين للعقبة. طبعا بدنا نوثق الاماكن السياحيه في العقبة. هي قاعدة هناك راني اللي قامت بالتوزيع. اكتشفنا إنه في منجم نحاس وذهب يعود إلى زمن الفراعنة ومغلق تماماً. يعني ما طبعاً وثقنا الأماكن وسوينا. الآن إحنا معلقين بس قديش أسيزة بدها تدفع لنا علشان درب الطلاب بس فقط المصاريف اليومية. شكراً.
طبعاً الدكتور عم بيحاول يستغل كل فرصة لأنه بده بحاجة للدعم. نحن بالاقتراحات اللي عم نشتغل عليها سمعته أنا من الدكتورة سوزي قبل شوي إنه في الآن عمل على تطوير مناهج العقبة. وإن شاء الله من هون لفترة قليلة يكون. وبتمنى على فرع العقبة وكونه أصلاً هو يعني من الجامعة الأردنية إنه يعطوا فرصة للطلبة بهذه التخصصات إنه يشاركوا في دراسة لمدة قضاء مدة فصل في جامعة متميزة من خلال الشراكة بين الجامعات. فإذا بنشتغل هلا على الشراكة بين الجامعات الأردنية والغربية يستطيع الطالب عندنا إنه يقضي على الأقل فصل دراسي ونعطي الفرصة للمتميزين، يمكن يصير كمان من خلال هذه التجارب خبرات مختلفة. الدكتور أحمد عنده تعليق أيضا، فتفضل دكتور.
شكرا دكتورة. بس حابة يعني أضيف شغلة بسيطة بالنسبة للتحديث اللي هو إنه الستاف دائما يكون كابابل انف في عملية التعليم الفندقي والسياحي. انتم زي ما بتعرفوا احنا ما زلنا في الأردن تقريبا في عنا شبه عجز نسبي، خلينا نحكي في الستاف المتوفر في جامعاتنا او في المؤسسات خلينا نحكي والمعاهد اللي بتتعلق بالتعليم الفندقي، خاصة إذا ما أخذنا في الاعتبار اللي هو الشيء اللي له علاقة بالهوتيل اوبريشنز أو التخصصات المتعلقة بهذا المجال في عجز واضح فيه. الآن شو المشكلة؟ بسبب هذا العجز أحياناً تلجأ بعض الجامعات أو طبعاً هذا بنسب متفاوتة بيختلف من جامعة إلى أخرى، إنه ترسل الأكاديميين أو المدرسين تعطيهم مساقات مختلفة في تخصصات غير تخصص الأم الدقيق الخاص فيه، فهذا بيسبب أحياناً إشكالية، لكن إحنا on the way على الطريق. الآن الوضع الآن أفضل من السابق وبالتالي إحنا الآن صار في عندنا قدرات. وخلينا أحكي لك حتى على مستوى الأكاديميين اللي موجودين عندنا في الغالب هم خريجين جامعات كثير عريقة وما ناس بيروح لهذا التخصص إلا بالفعل بيكون حابه. يعني أحكي لك يا بصراحة كونه في البداية كان خلينا نحكي الإيمج أو البوزيشننج في اللي له علاقة بالكالتشرال برسبكتيف عند الناس إنه سياحة وفنادق، فإذا هو عامل تشالنج هذا الأكاديمي إنه راح يتخصص في هيك مجال وبالتالي من حب نابع فيه وبالتالي ممكن يعطي فيه أكثر. شكرا.
Thank you everybody. It's time for lunch. Susie, sorry, دكتورة سوزي تفضل.
Thank you, Dr. Halo. You know, I wanted to ask these questions in the previous session, but it's still hanging on my mind. But I thought I would also ask it to the participants, if I may, and most people to know, how can we really create the passion in students? Larry mentioned this before, and Joe also. I was writing it also as this is all these tangible and non-tangible skills that we want to affect in our students, but at the same time, the passion itself, it's hard to, assess, it's hard to evaluate, it's hard to, identify at the beginning, but it is well needed at the same time later on and working in the industry and to continue in this profession and to excel in what the person works. How do you think passion for a career, and especially in tourism, could be created from your perspective?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Susan. I suppose passion is one of these intangibles, and it's very much linked to motivation and very much linked to expectation. The motivation from our students is always very easy because somewhere along the line they want to join the program because they have a vocation. That's where vocational training title came from, to have a vocation, to think they have a vocation for the hospitality and tourism. And it's easy to create that sort of passion in them when you are in an education environment, because you're creating an expectation. The difficulty is when that expectation is not realized when they go out into industry. And many of the students drop out from industry because there's a lack of, if you like, realization between what they expected during their training and what they actually got when they went out into the industry. And so therefore, employers and human resources departments have to be very careful about how they induct students. Students need to be, students on internship need to be inducted as much as new employees have to be inducted, because it's important that they have the opportunity to fulfill their motivation and indeed their passion out in industry.